What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. If you love puppies, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I'm here at WRXperts with JC. What?
Got paint everywhere. Look at this.
It's gold, member.
I don't know what happened. I took the cap off and it just shot everywhere.
Hey, how you guys doing? Today we're gonna be doing a break upgrade on JJ's STI with StopTech rotors, hawk pads, multiple brake fluid, and Goodrich lines.
Hey, welcome to Nippon Power. Don't forget to check us on our website at nipponpower.com for your performance, import performance needs. Give us a call, 305-805-1321, or stop by our shop.
So with our new StopTech rotors, they're slotted so it helps with heat dissipation when braking. We have a fluid that has a higher boiling temp so it doesn't boil as easily as this OEM fluid. We have Goodrich lines, help get rid of that spongy feeling when you hit the brakes. And then we have our hawk pads, which has a way better bite, but it does come with a little bit of squeal and some dust.
All right, let's get started. Bryce, you want to talk about your Call of Duty KD right now?
Yeah, bro, it's better than your trash KD.
All right, so we're gonna start off with the brake lines first. So like I said, we got some Goodrich brake lines. Trash. Goodrich is nice enough to label all the lines for you so you know where they go. So your equipment or your hardware that you need for the install. Stickers for 5 horsepower.
So as you can see, some of these say RR, which is right rear, but a lot of people get confused on how to look at that. Like,
Is it looking at the car or the other way? So the trick is to make sure it's while you're sitting in the car, which is your right and which is your left in the passenger seat. Sorry, in the driver, whatever seat you want to be in, actually.
So when you drive your car, you sit in the passenger seat? You know,
Yeah.
That's a skill.
I have a Tesla, man.
That's a skill. To start, you need a 12mm to take off this bolt that's on the coilover. Keep that because you're gonna use it later on. You need a 10 box wrench. You can use a regular 10, but I don't suggest it because odds are you're gonna strip the bolt. So I recommend using a 10 box wrench. So go ahead and put your box wrench on the line like so, and you wanna break it loose. I found that a lot of times that they're really stubborn and they're really hard to break loose, so you can put some liquid wrench on there, PB blaster to help. And even then sometimes at this top, it'll rotate past the stopper. So I'll use a set of pliers to hold it, just to break it loose. But since JJ's car is so new, I really didn't have to do any of that and just broke loose very easily. I suggest putting something under to catch all the brake fluid that's gonna leak out as you take this off. There we go. Brake line's off. Now you just get a flathead and remove the retainer clip that's holding the line in. And just pry it like so.
Like so.
Alright, now brake line is free. Now we just have to disconnect it from our caliper, which is going to be a 12mm.
Just behind the caliper right here?
See, on the line?
Yep.
This 12mm. That's the removal of our brake line. Alright, so now we can start with reinstalling our new line. So to start off, make sure you put the washer first, put the bolt through, and then you grab your other washer. And it's going to go into the back of the caliper where we just removed the other bolt from. So just tighten it up by hand. Just leave it there and we'll come back to that. Now you're going to reuse the stock bolt that was holding the line. Put it back in place. And this moves so you can adjust it, pull the line back or forward as needed. Just do this by hand and leave it loose for now until we finish attaching the line. Just get it started and then you get the box wrench to tighten it back up.
So this little clip right here is gonna go in underneath to hold the line from going upwards. So we're just gonna hammer it in a little bit to make sure it's all the way in. And just make sure to tighten it right here. Next we're gonna just tighten this bracket here that's holding the line. And next we're tightening the banjo bolt holding the line.
All right, so now we're gonna go with the removal of the caliper and the rotor. So first we're gonna start taking out the old pads. So you have 2 retainer clips, top and bottom. I suggest getting a pick like this, putting it through like so, and picking it out so that way you don't lose it, because it's really hard to find. There you go. Just put it to the side, because you'll be using that later. Put it back. We'll go to the bottom one. Just pull it. There you go. Next, you need to remove the top and bottom sliders. So I suggest getting a set of pliers and just working them out slowly.
Oh, you don't have the punch tool thing?
So a lot of people, like I've seen people that use the punch. So see right here, you can do it, but they end up chipping the calipers. So I don't like doing that.
Oh, okay.
So this is a lot harder, but I don't mess up a customer's calipers.
Oh, okay.
So what you want to do is like push this to try to relieve some tension. Just get some pliers and just slowly work it. Once you get the one of them out, the other one is really simple to get out. All right, so like once it's halfway out, literally just relieve the tension off of it, you can pull it out. And then the top one will be easy since there's no tension on it. You should be able to work it just by hand. Now to remove the old brake pads, you need to push in the pistons slightly just to be able to pull them out. You could try to do it by hand, and if you can't, just get a flathead. Just pry it just enough to relieve tension. And then you just start wiggling them out. Alright, so next I'm going to demonstrate how to compress the pistons, and I'm going to go ahead and do it with the flathead for everybody who doesn't have the compression tool or they got the wrong one that works in the WRX style calipers. So we're going to do this on the old pads and rotors so that we don't have to damage the new ones. Just go ahead and put one of the old pads in there. Just put a flathead right in between the rotor and the pad and just pry it. And you'll feel the pistons get compressed slowly. So now you should see the pistons are flat, and you do the same thing on the other side. Alright, put the other pad in. You're going to put the new one on this side just to hold the pistons from being pushed back out. And the same thing, just get the flathead, slowly just pry it. A little bit on top, and just do it again on the bottom. And the piston should be completely compressed. Alright, so now that we've compressed the pistons, we're going to go ahead and remove the caliper. It's going to be 2 19mm bolts at the top and the bottom. This 19 up here, and there's another one down here. Go for it. Just remove those 2. Make sure you're holding onto the caliper so you don't drop it. Just take it out like so, and just swing it back. You can put it in your control arm. Just set it here. Just make sure it's secure. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and remove the rotor. Sometimes the rotor comes loose, you could just pull it off. So you can see on J's, it's stuck, so you can't. Then what you can do is, if you do not have a 12mm bolt, get a rubber mallet, just hit it from behind to break it loose, but it's a lot harder. The easy method, nice little 12mm bolt, I would spray some PB Blaster right there in the rotor, top and bottom, and just get a ratchet or a gun and tighten like so, and it'll come loose. When it's loose, and you can take it out.
That was so easy.
I mean, it's easier than if you get the rubber mallet. You can do it with the rubber mallet, but you're gonna be there for a while. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and put our new rotor on. And these are labeled so you know what you're putting on. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and put our caliper back on. So just take it out from here. Now you line up the bolt, thread it through. Here's a trick if you're having problems lining up the bolt. What you can do is, to make your life a lot easier, one of your lug nuts, and just thread it on to hold the rotor straight in place to make it a lot easier to put your calipers back on. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and install our new brake pads And we're gonna apply the grease provided with the pads. Place a little bit on each one and then spread it with your fingers. Spread this to avoid squeaks. So this is our pad with our indicator, so we're gonna go and put this on the outside. There you go. Now let's go back to our inside pad. Same thing. So now, I like to clean all the equipment to make it a lot easier for the install. Wipe it down. Clean this up just a little bit. Now, scrap some of that grease. Just apply it. It'll make your life a lot easier when installing these. Just put a little bit here, just to make it easier for it to slide in. Just place each of the pins halfway through. Get your bracket and just push either the top or the bottom one in, it does not matter. And just pay attention to the back of the slider. You'll see the pin. You want to make sure it's right dead center because you have to put the clip through it.
Right.
So just make sure you line up all the holes and just push through. So this one's done. So now just put pressure down here and put the slider in and just pay attention to the hole so you can see it, slide through. So the bottom one might be a lot harder because there's tension, so you could use a hammer to push it through if you can't get it. And just give it a few taps. Be careful not to hit the caliper. Yeah, so then you go ahead and get your retainer clips and you just push it right through the hole. Bottom one, get your top one, and you're done with this side.
So you're gonna be here for a while.
Not really.
Is that the first time
Because
you got sweat?
the rear brakes, it's gonna be very. Put a silencer on that hammer. I will fart on your nose. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start it with the rear brakes. It's gonna be very similar to the front, which only a few things are gonna be slightly different, but for the most part, it's the same. We're gonna start off with the brake, taking our brake line off, and we have a lot of buildup. So before I go ahead and try to break it loose, I'm gonna clean it off a little bit, so I make sure I don't round it off when taking it off. Get our 10 box wrench. The rear is a lot easier to break than the front. Usually you don't have to hold it with anything. So just feel it out. If you see you're having problems, then go ahead and just get a set of pliers. It breaks a lot easier than the front. Make sure you have your nice tray under to collect all the brake fluids in and leak out. Alright, once you have your brake line free, it has a retainer clip just like the front. Go ahead and just put a flathead right in between the line and the brake clip and just pry it out. Go ahead and grab a 12mm. There'll be a bolt that's holding the line in place. Set that to the side because you'll be using it later when you install your new lines. Alright, last step to taking off the line, you're gonna go ahead and break the banjo bolt, go into the back of the caliper, which is gonna be a 12mm. You can remove the line. Alright, now we're gonna start installing our new line. Same thing as the front. Grab your banjo bolt, just put it through. Make sure you have the washer, and then you put the washer on the other side. Tighten it by hand, and we'll come back to that, tighten it up after. So go ahead and grab your 12, go ahead and go put it back to the retaining bracket, and just start tightening it up. Now we're gonna go ahead and attach the line. So same thing as in the front, you get your brand new retaining clip, and it's gonna go like this, right on that slit. So just go ahead and push it through, make sure it's flat, right on the part that holds it from moving. Just push your retainer clip, sorry, wrong way. Just push the retainer clip, and you're gonna wanna use a hammer and just slightly tap on it. Just grab your hammer and just give it a few light taps. All right, now that you have your line back on, just go ahead and tighten the line up. And remember to use your 10 box wrench. Now that we're done with our line, we're gonna go ahead and just tighten the 12mm bolt. And then the new bolt, rather than being a 12 like the OEM, it's an 11. All right, now we're gonna start removing the pads on the rear calipers. It's the same thing as the front. Just go ahead and get your pick and get the little clips, hook it right through, just pry them out. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and get the top one. And same thing, just grab and push them out like so. Once you take the top one off or the bottom, the other one should be pretty easy to pull out by hand. And then go ahead and try to pull the pads out. If they're still on pretty tight, you just grab your flathead and just compress it just enough so they're loose. Take the pads out, it's loose. So now, since we're already here, we're gonna go ahead and compress our pistons. Same thing, put your flathead in between the rotor and the pad. So, take the pad out. All right, once you've compressed this side, just go ahead and get your new pad, just put it in there. And grab your old pad, put it on the back side. Same thing, get your flathead, just put it in between and pry, and you're done compressing the pistons. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and remove our caliper. You have 2 bolts, just like the front, but these will be a 17 millimeter instead of a 19. There's your caliper, just place it on the control arm, and then we go ahead and remove the rotor. Same thing, this one's stuck, so we're gonna go ahead and grab a 12 millimeter bolt. When you remove your rear rotor, make sure your e-brake is down. If not, you're gonna fight with the e-brake system and you might disassemble it and have to put it back together, and it's very complicated. See, you'll the pads that'll hold on to the inside of the rotor, and you'll pull them out and completely disassemble the system. All right, go ahead and grab your new rotor, just put it on. You have a little inspection hole for your e-brake adjustment, a little dust boot. You wanna pop it out and transfer it over. Just go ahead and push it into place. Just grab one of your lug nuts and just screw it in just to hold the rotor in place for you. Then go ahead and just swing your caliper back over. All right, so now we're ready to go ahead and install our rear pads. So just apply some grease to it. Just use your finger and spread it.
What are you doing, man? Is that gonna go on the brake pads? Where's that go?
Yeah.
Hey, everybody would like to know what's your Instagram.
You should change it to
At this point, yeah. Dustin's over it.
Yo, dude, this is disgusting. What's up?
Grab your pins and put them halfway through. Get your retainer clip. All right, so start pushing the pin through and just look at the hole. You want it right there in the middle for your retainer clip.
What is this?
Porno music.
Go ahead and put your retainer clips back in.
2 clips.
2 clips?
We're gonna go ahead and fill up the reservoir before we start bleeding. Now we're gonna start on the right rear first, which is the farthest. So we're gonna be draining all the fluid and exchanging it. Usually like 2 times around. 10 pumps each wheel. Should be enough to get pretty much all of it out. So we're gonna start with the inside valve first. 11 millimeter. Put one little reservoir thing on. And pump, JC. When you
Hold.
open up the valve.
Down.
Again.
Hold. Down.
Again.
Hold. Down.
Again.
So this pattern's important because of
The way the ABS is set up.
oh, okay.
Now that you just drained, you want to fill up again. So in other words, when I tell him pump, he's gonna pump, and then when he's holding, I'm gonna open up the valve. All of a sudden, the pressure is gonna drop and the pedal's gonna drop. When the pedal drops, that's when he says down.
Okay.
So I close it, so that way we don't get air. Because as soon as he lets off, it's gonna suck up air.
All right, so the pattern is right rear, front, left,
left front, left rear, right front.
right front, and then you're gonna do it twice.
Correct. Second time around, we're gonna do 8 pumps on the inside, 5 pumps on the outside for the rear. And then on the front, we're gonna do 6 pumps in the inside, 5 pumps on the outside.
Alright, well now that we're finished with the brake install, now we're going to go out and bed the pads. So what you want to do is take the vehicle up to about 20 miles per hour and then slam the brakes so you come down to about 5 miles per hour and then start back up. Whatever you do, do not come to a complete stop. Now we're going to go up to 40 miles per hour. And same thing, slam the brakes. So we come down to a roll to about 5 miles per hour and start back up again. And then I'm gonna go up to 60 miles per hour and do the same thing. And now you're done bedding the pads.
Alright guys, so that was the install. It is actually pretty easy once you watch them do it. Also, shout out to 8080 for this hat. I bought it off them hoping to win. Hat feels nice, but it doesn't feel nice losing, so hopefully next time I can win a car and some cash. So it's been a few days now that I've been driving the car, and I would say the brakes feel awesome. They really bite. I would say the pedal, there's no more spongy feel, like it's you press it and it brakes. It's probably like an inch worth of play. So that's how the brakes feel. As far as the cleanliness or the brake dust. So I washed my car about 3 days ago and I've been driving probably like 45 miles a day. And as you can see, the wheels still look pretty clean. I mean, there's a little brake dust on it, but nothing crazy. So I definitely recommend getting these brakes. The install is time consuming. It's doable, it's easy, but time consuming for sure. Also, shout out to Nippon Power for the parts. That's where I ordered them from. And WRXperts, of course, with the install. They make everything look so easy. They're so detailed with the videos. I really hope that helps you guys out when you're going to install it. This video, I didn't use anything Torque Solutions, but they're always sending out stuff, so shout out to Torque Solutions. Also, we will be doing some installs on their parts soon. I'm thinking motor mounts, trans mounts, pitch stop next, maybe. So we have plenty of install videos coming, so if you haven't hit that subscribe button already, make sure to do that. Hit the like button if this video helped you out, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.